G'day ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zach and welcome back to Printed, the place where we go out not with a whimper but with the gentle rattle of a spray can. This week I have a bunch of hobby progress for you, a bunch of new released models and the controversy around the new female Custodes and a few more things, so let's jump straight into it. This week I actually managed to get a little bit of hobbying done. I have been slowly painting an Adeptus Titanicus army. By slowly I mean over a couple of years. I've basically batch painted out all the main models within 2 or 3 months, and I've just been left with a Warlord Titan that has just been sitting there on my desk looking at me menacingly because I cannot be bothered painting all the panels. But I have finally gotten around to masking all the areas that I need to paint off, and I will be hopefully jumping into it this week because this is the first week of my 3-day weekend, and although this video was meant to come out last week, I have been dealing with a couple of delays and things everywhere. But alas, this video is coming out today. I'm going to be editing the hobby video for this week, and things are going to be good. So yes, I'm super keen to hopefully make some progress on the Warlord Titan. One thing I am definitely thinking about completing this week is my Chaos Warriors. Slowly been chipping away at them, and this week I have been putting all the purple, glazing shadows on them. So I'm super excited to get those done. I will have to undercoat and paint up all their shields and things, but that is super easy to do. If I can at least get the majority of the model done for the time being, and then just do the shields later in the week, I don't mind doing that. But they are super close, and it's nice to get back into doing a little bit of hobbying, because oh my gosh, do I miss it. And hopefully on this new roster that I am on, having the 3 consecutive days off means that I have more time to make content for you guys. That is everything for my hobby highlights, but for the hobby headlines, we have a massive week of new releases. Now, some of these are from last week, and some of them are from this week, so you probably will get 2 hobby headline videos this week, because I know it's a little bit weird, but this might be a big week for just videos being pumped out, so keep your eyes peeled. But starting us off are the Reclusians Stormcast, which from what I understand are Stormcast that are basically at the end of their reincarnations. They have more or less achieved the maximum amount of reincarnations for a Stormcast soldier. So that's really cool to see. I love every part of the model. Although they do more look like characters, or maybe they are an elite unit for the new Stormcast. I can't imagine them being an infantry troop choice because they look kind of glamorous and very ornate. And I love the little dudes that come with them. They got the little worshipping dudes, which sort of reminds me of that Underworlds team that came out recently, the Frankenstein Sigmar guys. The Lightning Cold, I think they were called. But they're really cool. Love these models. Nice bit of detail. And it's cool to see Games Workshop painting them up in that new silver tone, which from the looks of it possibly might be their new go-to color scheme for them, because I've noticed that a lot of the new models have been painted in that very nice silver. So maybe they're going down that route and kind of making them the Ultramarine, really making them the Ultramarines of the Age of Sigmar world. Up next, we've got a couple of new Necromunda models, the Proxy and Fixer, which are just 2 distinguished gentlemen, and I love these models. I probably won't pick them up myself, but just as models in general, these guys look pretty freaking neat, and I love just anytime the Games Workshop does pinstriping, or I don't know what the correct term is for it, but the stripes on the pants, they just look so nice, and it very almost makes me want to do it myself, but I don't have that sort of confidence in myself right now. But maybe picking up these models would give me a fantastic challenge to actually do that, because batch painting the exact same models all the time does not challenge you creatively, and sometimes you need to go out of your box to sort of make better models and try new stuff. Yes, overall, loving those guys. They are very cool. As for the Sunday preview, I'm just going to jump over on my iPad. I am pretty excited. Now, I'm not going to talk about last week's one. It's basically just all the Dark Oath stuff that came out for Age of Sigmar. Pretty cool models. Not particularly my style, even though I may pick them up just for the sake of having some alternate sculpts in my fantasy army, but we'll see. Ultimately, I want to talk about this week's Sunday preview, which is the fantastic releases from the Tau range. And this is all the Kroot and everything. And actually, Combat Patrol that I was not expecting. So basically, we've got all the models that we talked about in, I think, weeks and weeks ago. I can't actually remember how many weeks ago it was, but I'm super excited to finally see these guys coming out. So they will be coming out as of today, which is Monday, so I'll probably release this video tomorrow, Tuesday. They will be coming out this Saturday, the 29th, I do believe, is the Saturday. I could be wrong in that. Yes, it is Saturday the 27th, I do believe. Bunch of like really cool models, all the Kroot. It's nice to see some of the alternative weapons and things on them. Really loving them. Kroot Hounds, take it or leave it. Not a massive fan. But one thing that did surprise me was the Combat Patrol Tau Empire. Now, I wasn't expecting a refresh of this. Like, genuinely surprised that they've gone this route, because like the old one had like the Ghost Kill Battlesuit and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so the old one had the Ghost Kill Battlesuit. This one comes with a couple of strike squads and, surprisingly enough, a Devilfish, which for combat patrol reasons seems very overpowered. And I'm not quite sure how to feel about that. Like, besides like the model is amazing, and like this will be 250, 260 depending on how we go. So for $200-ish is not going to be too bad. There's some very exciting releases from the Tau Empire. But that does bring me on to this week's topic that I really want to talk about, and it is the controversy around the female Custodes, and which I think is hilarious. So for those who don't know, there was a new, so Warhammer have tweeted out that Custodes have always been female. There have always been female Custodes, and I'm pretty sure they unveiled a new female Custodes character, which I personally am super excited for. And as you can most likely tell, a lot of people are not very happy about it, and I find that personally hilarious. So TLDR, I'm all for them introducing new characters of different diversities, cultures, male, female, like genders or anything. I don't care. Having a universe that has people that do not fit the mold just makes it feel more exciting and more lived in. Like, just saying that all Custodes are men and that they are male is kind of, I feel like a bit of a cop-out. It seems like a very boys-only club, whereas like, Custodes are the elite soldiers of the Imperium, and like, people are going to argue that like, oh no, you've got the Sisters of Silence, but it's like, why can't you have just Custodes that are whoever? Like, if you put someone in a giant suit of armor, they're all going to look the same. Like, unless you have boob armor, that's the only way you're going to tell the difference between a male and a female Custodes. Like, you know, having these very clear, like, gender differences between them, I think is a little problematic in its own way. So it's nice to see Games Workshop just taking kind of a neutral approach. And I sort of understand where people are coming from with the whole, like, oh, they just said that it's a thing. It's like, yes, but Warhammer and Games Workshop in general have been retconning and changing their lore for years. I mean, like, back in the day, they used to have Eldari Ultramarines, and they'd have, like, Tyranids had different abilities, or, like, they reproduce differently, and, like, Orcs were different, and, like, Warhammer's lore is fluid, and it always has been, and I don't really understand why people, besides purely selfish reasons, are saying, no, this is wrong, we cannot change it, and, you know, it's set in stone, but it really isn't. Like, we are playing a game that has made-up lore in a made-up universe, and just, you know, everything is fantasy, basically. So I think it's very interesting to see a lot of the opinions coming over. And for the majority of, like, 99% of the people I have seen basically say, I don't care that they're female Custodes. I'm hyped to get sick new models and add some different things to my armies. And, like, I hadn't experienced anyone with a negative opinion on it until someone replied on my post and basically said, like, it's a bot response. And I can obviously tell that they are not a advocate for change. And I'm sure I will get a bunch of people in this video hating on my opinion and being very against it. But yes, I don't think it's worth fighting those battles, because ultimately, it's a game. Like, things change. It's fun. People enjoy whatever you want. If you don't want to have female Custodes in your army, or you don't want to have an army that's against the law, you do that. It's your game, but don't push your values on everyone else. Like, everyone is allowed to believe whatever they want. And I think, as a whole, the community, for the most part, has taken the news very nicely. And I will link down to a Reddit post, because although people are saying, because Warhammer essentially has always been a bit of a boys' club, and I think there's not a single person out there that would disagree with it. Like, it has been a hobby that has not been super inviting to women or people that basically aren't men. And it's very interesting to see. So I went through this Reddit post. And long story short, it was saying that back in the day, like, Games Workshop has always been a very diverse a very diverse team, both sexually, culturally, and like gender-wise, and like everyone has wanted to put themselves into the story and, you know, work a diverse, very open universe. But back in the day, Warhammer had a specific regime that they were running, and although people who were writing, say like the Custodes lore, they tried to use ambiguous terms so that they didn't have to worry about assigning gender roles to any of these characters. But obviously the higher-ups at the time were like, no, you need to assert these things. And if you want to read this for yourself, I'll link back to the original Reddit post. I think it's a very, very interesting read. Whether you agree or disagree, I'd love to hear it down in the comments down below. Please do keep it civil. We're not here to hate on anyone for their difference of opinion. Everyone is entitled to it, but as long as we keep it respectful and not name-calling, I think that would be fantastic. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. Which does also bring me on to our last part of the video, which is this week's hobby hero. And I would like to give a massive shout out to Jen from Tabletop Time. Now, Jen has been on the team since, I believe, the get-go, and she is an amazing both painter, hobbyist, and also content creator, and I absolutely adore watching her army projects. She recently showed off her Adeptus Sororitas conversion, which I do believe are based off of Bloodborne characters. And yeah, it's such a unique take. And recently, Tabletop Time has actually started doing a format similar to this one, and similar to the one that Jay does. So Jay from Eons of Battle does the Models and Memories, and then Tabletop Time have started their very own weekly talk video. And I think it's fantastic to see more weekly content coming out of my favorite channels, especially from Jen, showcasing her Adeptus Sororitas army this week. It was really exciting to see like the lore and what she thinks about it, and like why she started her army, and yeah, just also watching her journey. So like ultimately I have watched a lot of videos from their channel leading up to that moment, and like how she painted the stuff, why she's converting it, the Bloodborne inspiration for it. And yeah, it's really inspiring me to start my own army, especially even Dave's army, the Traitor Guard. I am this close to starting another fully converted army, but I think I need to get some other projects done first. So maybe, just maybe, I will do that in the future. But yes, massive shout out to Jen from Tabletop Time. I will leave a link down to her socials and the Tabletop Time channel in the description down below. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this week's video. So thank you so much for watching. If you did indeed enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, because I'd love to see your friendly face join our amazing community of hobby heroes and inspire me to paint more and hopefully share your progress along the way as well. So thank you all for watching, and until next time everyone, happy hobbying. Bye ya.